Hello, this is Dr. Steffi. I have a question for you. Are you, as a business owner and as a parent, quite possibly, often feeling like you're stuck in the daily grind? Like everybody wants a little piece of you all the time. There's questions, there's this, there's that, there's all these different things to do, fires to put out, etc. So in this podcast, or rather broadcast, I want to talk to you a little bit about how to get out of that. And that is by invoking the transformative power of unearthing your brilliance. Now, Steffi, what do you mean by that? You might be asking. Well, let me tell you. So, in your brain, you have a lot of knowledge, you have a lot of expertise, experience, even wisdom. And it's in here. It's, you might say, trapped in there because only some of that you've been able to give to your team members. Am I right? And that's what we're going to talk about here. In fact, it's Friday, so let's do a little demo and have fun. Okay, so imagine this is your brain. And of course, when we're young, when we're first born, there's not a whole lot in it, but then we learn things. Okay, so these gems here represent knowledge we acquire. All right, so there's some different kind of knowledge, some more knowledge. We also now start going to, kindergarten and school and etc. So let's speed this up. So over time, of course, you're going to learn some unique pieces of knowledge, wisdom, that you cannot look this stuff up anywhere. It comes from experience that you personally have. And a lot of times it's from things that go wrong rather than things go right, because we learn more from that probably. So here we are. But then we learn some more stuff, and you get the idea that, this kind of special knowledge gets buried underneath other knowledge. Okay. And so over the course of our life, more and more knowledge goes into your brain. And so much so that honestly, you don't even know what's all in there. But what you do know is when the situation comes up, you can pretty much come up with the answer, right? So the things that are at the top of the jar, that is knowledge that you can readily access in a way that, you're aware of it and you can teach it and you can basically, share that knowledge with other people. But what about this marble over here? That represents unique knowledge. Your business needs it. And it can also be the case that that's needed in other areas of your life. But let's focus on your business, all right? So this marble here is an example of the second kind of knowledge. The first kind of knowledge is knowledge that you know you have, you're conscious of it. And this marble here represents knowledge that you have. It's in your jar, in your brain, but you don't remember that you have it. And so you cannot teach that. And because you cannot teach that, there's all these different people who come to you at various times and ask you to help because you draw on that brilliance automatically and you can solve the problem. And so that's why they need you, and that's why you can't get away, and that's why there is, way greater daily grind than otherwise would be there, right? So what we can do in brilliance mining, we call it mining because we literally dig into the jar. No brain injuries are involved with this, by the way, but we get this marble out. We make it visible because, I'm showing you here a glass jar, but in reality, no one can look into your brain and see what's in your brain. So it's not visible, and therefore it is not actionable for anyone except you. Now think about that. And that's flattering on some level, but it's also a handcuff. So I just came back from trekking in Nepal, which was my version of, having an adventure, which I have dreamt of for many years and finally made a reality. All right. So Um, how do you transform your current situation, which is probably one of success, right? And if I say mediocre, I don't mean to offend you. I'm just saying, if you find yourself somewhat handcuffed because there's so much knowledge in your brain that other people don't have, but they do need, and so you're basically handing it out and spoon feeding it on a daily basis, then we can actually go from mediocre to magnificent. And that means we got to unearth some of that knowledge, that brilliance, as I call it, and make it available to the right people, to your team. And so that it empowers them and gives you back some of that freedom that you like. Because let's say as a parent, I always want to spend more time with my kid and my husband, right? So you with your spouse and your children probably. There's probably some adventures that you've put at the back burner. There are probably some projects that are important to you, but they're not urgent. So they are on the back burner as well. Maybe it's new innovations. Maybe it's a book you want to write. Maybe it's, I don't know. There could be lots of different things. So what I can tell you, it is possible with, you know, very little time effort actually to start to excavate and unearth, extract, as I say, or mine out this kind of brilliance. So what we do is 3 steps. First, we figure out what knowledge is it that you have in your jar that's incredibly valuable. You are probably not the best judge of that by yourself because you undervalue your brilliance and you're not really completely aware of what all that is. What is your secret sauce? What is it that people really come to you for? You have maybe some idea, but it usually requires a little bit of digging with fresh eyes. So that's part of what I do. And then the second part is to actually get it out. And so when it first comes out, it doesn't come out necessarily neatly. It comes out in little bits and pieces, and you have to see what's missing. And so that's another piece of art that we teach, how to get the handle on that. Because let's say normally when somebody teaches how to do something that they're really, really good at, some parts they're aware of, some parts they're not aware of. So they teach the parts that they're aware of, but it's incomplete, and so other people can't really get the result that you would be getting. And that means then you try to delegate it, and then it falls apart, and then you stop delegating it, and next thing you know, your work-life balance has gone to heck in the handbasket. Am I right? So the third step then is we have all these pieces, but we want to make it not only like some boring manual or some boring write-up, which people go like, ugh, ooh, I'm supposed to learn from this. No, we want to replicate your knowledge in an engaging way so that the people who you give it to will actually use it and will actually put it into play. And that way you can actually live out loud on those dreams that you may be having, or spend more time with your family, bring your business to the next level, work on your business instead of in your business. Anyway, so that is in a nutshell the way that you can transform your life, your business, and your life, both on the business side and the personal side, by unearthing your brilliance, getting in touch with even what it is. So brilliance mapping, brilliance extraction, and then brilliance replication. And we can do this actually very fast. The ROI is incredible. And it's actually very fast because we have honed the art to get after the most important stuff very quickly and put it into effect very quickly. And you will see within just a few, weeks, you will see a tremendous effort. I have people I've worked with who within 6 weeks, for example, sometimes even faster than that, they're like, oh my God, their team goes, oh my God, now we get it. Now we understand how you have been doing this magic thing all this time. And now we can start to really be just about as good as you are in that particular area. And that is priceless. Please drop me a line because I'm going to do some live Q&As very shortly. And if you'd like to be invited to that, please drop your interest into some kind of comment here, and I'll make sure you're invited. All right, ciao.